Yesterday we learned about the basic parts of an atom and how to identify them, and today we're going to go a little bit further and talk about how the Bohr model helps us to understand things about the atom that are more important. So you don't actually have to write this down, it's just something that we can talk about for a few seconds. But the Bohr model, we talked about this a little yesterday, was developed by Niels Bohr. And he discovered, or is responsible for discovering, that electrons are located in orbitals around the nucleus that have different energy levels. And what's important to know about this is that the farther away from the nucleus the more energy an electron has. Okay. There's another human, and her name is Etna Stodana. And she verified Bohr's claim. That electrons have specific energy levels that they are assigned to. And I say assigned to, I mean like when you have an electron around the nucleus of the atom, what ends up happening is that particular electron usually shows up in the first energy level, and it always lives in the first energy level until it gets excited. And then an electron in the third energy level kind of always lives in the third energy level until it gets excited. And we'll talk more about what happens with excited electrons later. So the next part of this is a picture of an atom that Etna Stodana actually came up with. And what this is this a hydrogen atom, and the way that they did this is they took hundreds of thousands of pictures over and over and over and over again to kind of figure out where the electrons are. And the color differences here are the cooler colors are the further away from the nucleus of the atom. The warmer colors are closer to the nucleus of the atom, and the different areas. So like there's this shading part, like right here, indicates a different energy level. So her work basically verified Niels Bohr's thought process. Now, the Bohr model has a couple of things that we need to keep track of. One of them is that electrons surround, oops, it's not right, O-U-N-D, the nucleus, at predetermined energy levels, sometimes referred to as energy shells. The number of electrons in an atom determines how many electrons will be in each shell. So, how are the shells filled? Well, the first energy level, shell 1, can hold a maximum of 2 electrons. It can hold less, but it cannot hold more. The second shell, shell 2, can hold a maximum of 8 electrons. It can hold 8, and that's the maximum, but it could hold less also. And in shell number 3, also 8 electrons max. Okay, so we're going to kind of walk through how this works with a few examples. So if I'm looking at my element, in this case, it's the way that it's given to me is a different format than you've seen before, and the different format basically says helium-4. Helium is the element name, clearly, and the -4 is the mass number that you're going to have to use. So that means you're going to have to consult your periodic table that I gave you yesterday to determine the number of protons and electrons. So when I go to the periodic table, I see that helium's atomic number is 2, which tells me that we have 2 protons. And again, until you're told otherwise, we're going to assume that these are neutral atoms, so it has 2 electrons. In order to determine the number of neutrons, remember, we took mass number minus protons to give us our neutrons. So in this case, the mass number was 4 minus 2 to give me 2 neutrons. Okay, so in this case here, when I start drawing these structures, what I'm going to see is that I have a +2 in the nucleus, though that's for my protons, and then I'm going to start putting in my electrons. So my electrons in this case, the first energy level can hold how many? Oh yes, it can hold 2. So I'm going to start here, top, bottom. This is the Bohr model for helium. Not too bad. 2 electrons, all done. We're now going to do the element beryllium. So I'm going to go to the periodic table, and I'm going to see that beryllium has an atomic number of 4, which tells me that in a neutral atom there are 4 protons and there are 4 electrons. Neutrons is equal to mass number minus protons. So in this case, the mass number was 9 minus 4, so the number of neutrons is 5. So in this case, I know that I have, in the nucleus of my atom, I have 4 protons and I have 5 neutrons, so that's my nucleus. So now I'm going to go ahead and start filling in my electrons. The first energy level can hold a maximum of 2, so 1, 2. That energy level is full. So now I'm going to go to the second energy level, or shell, which can hold a maximum of 8. But I've got only 4 I can use total, and I've already used 2 of them, so that's going to look like this. So at this point, I have used 1, 2, 3, 4 electrons, and I have 1 full energy level, which is the shell 1, and a partially full energy level, which is shell 2, and this element is done now. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and do silicon, which, again, I'm going to go look at the periodic table, and this is a neutral atom, and silicon's atomic number is 14. So that tells me I have 14 protons, 14 electrons. The mass number is 28, so it's going to be mass number minus protons. So in this case, it's going to be 28 minus 14. If I do my math right, I get that it is 14 for the neutrons. So I'm going to have plus 14 and 14, my nucleus, I'm going to start placing electrons. So my first energy level can hold a grand total of 2, so 1, 2. So of the 14, I've placed 2, so that means I have 12 left to find a home for. So I'm going to look at shell number 2, and shell number 2 can hold 8 electrons, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, do you see how I've spread them out as far as I can? That's really important. And the reason why I'm spreading them out is because electrons are negative, and given the same space, they want to be as far apart from each other as they can. So let's count. How many electrons have I used? 1, 2 for the first shell, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for the second shell. And now I need to find another spot for 4 more electrons. So it's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And again, I'm spreading them out as far as I can. So this has 14 electrons, 14 protons, 14 neutrons. I've used 2 electrons in the first energy level, 8 electrons in the second energy level, and 4 electrons in the fourth energy level. This element is done. Okay, so your homework for the evening is to do worksheet number 2, which is based on the Bohr model. You're going to be drawing some structures, some Bohr model structures, just like I did here, and you're also going to be answering a couple of questions on the back side. It is a two-sider. Good luck, and we will talk about the answers tomorrow.